Hello everyone, and thank you for joining another edition of Froey's Bakes and Breaks. Please like and subscribe. Today we're going to be working on a tiramisu, and to get us started, we're going to be using my Breville Barista Touch to make my customized coffee drink. The fastest explanation, it's a combination of an Americano and a vanilla latte, and it is just delicious. Without going into all the specifications of the machine again, kind of have to make a video about it, I think. We have our coffee ground, so I'm just going to kind of run through the process of what I would normally do. We have our, I forget what this is called, I want to say like wristband or helmet, or I'm sure both of those are nowhere close. But this goes on to prevent all the grounds from spilling out. We have our little poker here. All these little accessories were very inexpensive, but granted the machine itself, I won't say how much it costs. I did get a great deal on it, but it was like twice as much as most of the cars I drove when I started driving forever ago. And then we do our smashing. You see all that went down. We take off our little hat. It almost reminds me of like a neck guard when someone has a neck injury, like a doggy collar. Part of my arm. Should have got that ready ahead of time. We have our tamp here, and we'll likely have some extras. I forget exactly what this is called, but it essentially goes in. It's a precision dose trimming tool. Says it right on there. And again, this came with the machine. But you'll see it essentially kind of gets all the extras off. And then I'll just angle this right above the trash can. Boop. Do our final tamp push down. We're just about ready to go. This was a great item I found from watching James Hoffman. I forget what it's called, but it essentially kind of, I think it's just an espresso filter. Again, sorry I didn't study before doing this video and I just forget. But you could definitely find it. Again, it has to be the exact right size. We will kind of click this into place and turn, we'll lock it in. And then 2 final steps. All right, first step, we're gonna pump in our vanilla syrup, and I get it, if you're a real coffee lover, you shouldn't need this, but that's the way I like it. Do you? I'm gonna do me. And then the next part is quite easy. We're just gonna, I have my drink programmed already. Get it nice and close. Nope, I need to learn to hit the button. An Americano is espresso with water, and a latte is a combination of espresso, foam, and milk. Again, this is kind of like a bit of all of those. A little less water, a little less milk, I suppose. Here we go. Color's awesome. You can see it coming out super creamy. Also, I do a 46-second shot. I'm laughing because that's probably a lot for most people, but that's what I like. I just got a message that the water tank was empty, so you can see it's slowing down, but we're just about where we want to be anyway. So, see the crema on the top? It's a nice, I don't know, I'm not going to measure it, but that's at least like 1/8 of an inch. Just to get a little closer. So you can see we have a nice shot. That nice crema on the top. You can only get that really from an espresso machine. The part's not going to be terribly exciting, but we have, it's probably just about 1 ounce of milk. It goes a really long way, and you'll see when we're done. Again, I have the settings basically as hot as the milk will go and as frothy as it'll make it. All right, we have our milk texture. Now, I don't know if you can really tell, it might be hard to see, but the foam is probably like all the way from the bottom of my spoon up. So the actual milk left is pretty minimal. And then we're just gonna, I'm sure people can do this much better than I can. There's definitely no latte art about to happen. But I essentially just kind of scrape the cloudier parts from the top. And then we'll pour some of the milk in once that's done. I've made it accidentally pretty once or twice, but that's about it. I love the colors, the dark, the light, and the white. It's really just cool looking. All right, we're ready for our tiramisu. So get started. I have my, we call in my house my Daddy Chino. You see on my fancy coffee maker. By the way, if you're a coffee snob, highly recommend. It's amazing. And although it was kind of hard for me not to drink it, use it for the recipe. Ounce one here. I have 2 egg yolks in. We're gonna put that over the double boiler and do kind of a sauvignon real quick. We can do raw eggs. I don't like it. I don't want to. We need to fill it in. So do your thing. I'm gonna do mine. Cream calls for about 3/4 of a cup. This is one recipe where I tend to just use a whole cup. I'm not. I'm weighing. I'm not measuring. Worst case, you have a little bit more. I did 7.4 instead of what would be like 6 ounces. It's not gonna make things bad by any means, so you will just have a little extra cream. Shift over here. Let's see if I can do this in one fell swoop. I have my water boiling. We have our 2 eggs and some sugar. And I'm happy to share the recipe because I'm not sharing my cookie recipe, so no one will be able to duplicate this. And just for a couple of minutes, the recipe that I originally used for this says basically stir the sugar and the egg yolks for a couple of minutes until they thicken and lighten in color. So what I'll do, I'll just kind of take it on and off the water. You may need a glove for this. I do, the sides tend to get hot as you go. And you see it's kind of, the light might be tough. We want to take it from kind of that dark mustard to kind of like essentially a spicy mustard to a yellow mustard, if that makes sense. And that will happen. We just got to give it a minute. Honestly, this is probably the hardest part of the recipe. Also not trying to overcook the eggs because I typically get kind of close to doing that. Last time I tried this, I had little specks. I couldn't taste them in the end product, but again, just for consistency. Also, this is a half recipe. So normally there would be 4 egg yolks, not 2, and more sugar. I've never had specks when I've done it that way. This is essentially like a tiramisu for, one would be generous. You'd have to be really sad to eat the whole thing in the night. But, you know, over the course of 2 or 3 days, I could definitely eat it myself, and between me and my wife. Yeah. Also, just as a note, this is great when it sits because of the cookies in the coffee mixture. It's great that it sits overnight. It actually will be better the next day. It's 3:45 right now in the afternoon. I can assure you I will be trying this at some point tonight, even knowing that it might not be as good as it will tomorrow. That's okay. Again, we're kind of there. You can see, hopefully, the mixture is getting lighter. And again, I'm not temp testing this at all. It is totally more for my psychological parts. To not eat raw eggs because, yeah, why chance it? It adds a couple minutes to the recipe, but I don't think it hurts at all. And again, I want to know that I want to feel good when I'm enjoying some of my favorite desserts. So I'd say we're done here. So. All right, that's done. I'm gonna leave that sit and cool for a minute. And now we're gonna move on. Now I know I used the manual whisk here and I'm using oh my god, whatever this thing is called, an electric mixer, an electric hand whisk for the cream. But yeah, I'm not beating cream and sugar for 5 minutes to get where we need to. So I would definitely speed this part up, but you'll see the cream slowly kind of get where it needs to. That looks great. The recipe doesn't really say stiff peaks or soft peaks, so I just kind of beat it pretty heavily. We're looking for like 113, 117 is totally fine. So an excellent news. Do a quick little cleanup. We're ready to assemble. It was that easy. I'm going to lick these off camera because it's creepy. For our vessel itself, I have some of these disposable, I think they're 8x4 loaf pans, and then, honestly, I bought these for pound cakes. They're too small. Turns out it makes a great tiramisu container, and if I'm giving these away or someone wants to buy one, yeah, you know, it's not a huge loss. We're gonna do mostly chocolate chip cookies, so let me do this. Cut them a little so I can fit them right in the pan. All right, it is assembly time. We have everything prepped. This is gonna sound maybe silly if you haven't ever made tiramisu, but the difference between leaving the cookie or the ladyfinger in the coffee mixture, 1 versus 2 versus 3 seconds makes a world of difference. And that may seem nuts. For the cookies, it doesn't because they're so thick. When we get to the ladyfingers, that'll be more obvious. And so here we go. I'm just gonna kind of plop them in there. And I'll just give them like a 5 count. As you make this more and more, you'll get kind of the feel of the cookie. You basically don't want it to be falling apart and be total mush, but I kind of like mine right before that. So completely wet. So like tomorrow, you wouldn't notice a cookie on the bottom, but you would definitely get the chocolate chips and maybe some of that cookie essence. When we do our ladyfingers, I will actually count out loud because I usually find about 2 seconds is perfect. We're gonna put these little pieces in as well. Just probably the obvious part is the smaller the piece, the less time it's gonna need. And we really want these big ones. Yeah, you'll slowly feel it start to soften. But again, these cookies are pretty large, so that's fine. We want like half the coffee mixture absorbed if possible. Also, a big factor with tiramisu is the coffee. A lot of the times in the past, I would use just K-cups, honestly. Dark Magic is one of my favorite blends from if I'm using my Keurig. But you saw I use my fancy one, which is it's like a combination of an Americano and a cappuccino. And sorry, as we're talking, I don't have enough cookies, so I'm getting out another and just kind of putting it in various little pieces so we can fill the bottom of the pan. And it's also what's nice here, they don't have to all be the exact same texture, especially the cookie layer. That's only going to make the dish better in the end. I think we're pretty good. So hopefully you can see it's not every tiny little spot. Could we go crazy? Sure. Do we need to? I'm going to say no. I don't measure, but kind of a big blob and a second big blob. I want to make sure I definitely have enough for the top, so I don't want to use too much here, but you also don't want to use too little. So this should work pretty well. Something else you could try that I tried, it didn't come out nearly as good as the traditional tiramisu, but is basically putting this as your icing inside of a layered cake. Yeah, the cake itself was okay. I think I like this dessert as a whole better, but it was pretty interesting. And I don't like buttercream icing, so I actually really liked it. So yeah, I'm adding a little more. I just want it to be slightly more even. Doesn't have to be perfect, and I know the way I do it, it never will be, because that's just not something I'm capable of. So hopefully you can see now I got way more cocoa powder than I need. You can see here. This is way too excessive, but that will allow me to not have to worry when I go back. So essentially we're just going to take it over, and I'm actually going to take some out because I got way too much, so that was a mistake. Probably a tablespoon or two at most is all you need, and it's pretty simple. You just bang the heck out of it until the whole thing's covered. You don't really taste the cocoa powder, and it's all about the look. And all set. So we're half done. Hey everyone, we are here. We are about to taste, so let's not waste any time. Let's just jump right in. What I love about a homemade version of this is you don't have to cut it, you can just get right in there. Woo. I don't think I want to be on camera when I eat more of this. That was so good, I'm gonna call it an A+. Actually, I forgot, there's an A++. Hope you enjoyed that reference. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time. Take care.